Sometimes the biggest problems in life are not real. They are created inside your mind. You see something small, but your mind makes it big. You imagine things that have not happened. You fear things that may never happen. And slowly, those thoughts start to control you. You feel stress. You feel fear. You feel tired without anything actually happening. Strange, right? But this happens to many people. Maybe it happens to you too. You think about the future. You imagine the worst. What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if everything goes wrong? And before anything happens, you already feel defeated. But here is the truth. Not everything you think is real, and sometimes your biggest enemy is your own imagination. This is the story of a man named Adam. Adam was a normal person. He had a simple life, a small job, a few friends. Nothing special, but nothing bad either. From the outside, his life looked calm, but inside his mind, everything was different. Adam was an overthinker. He thought too much about everything. If someone looked at him differently, he thought, did I do something wrong? If his boss called him, he thought, I will lose my job. If he made a small mistake, he imagined big consequences. His mind always jumped to the worst possible situation. Even when nothing was wrong, he felt worried. Even when everything was fine, he felt afraid. At night, he could not sleep well. His thoughts kept moving, again and again. The same fears, the same doubts. Adam was not living in reality. He was living inside his imagination. And that imagination was slowly controlling his life. Every day, Adam faced small situations, but in his mind, they became big problems. One day, he sent a message to his friend. The friend did not reply for 1 hour. Adam started thinking, maybe he is angry. Maybe I said something wrong. His mind kept going. After 2 hours, he felt stressed. After 3 hours, he felt sad. But later, his friend replied, sorry, I was busy. Nothing was wrong. But Adam had already suffered. Another day, his boss said, come to my office tomorrow. That night, Adam could not sleep. He thought, I made a mistake. I will lose my job. My life will become difficult. But the next day, his boss just gave him a new task. Again, nothing was wrong. This happened again and again. Small moments, big imagination, simple situations, heavy stress. Adam was not afraid of reality. He was afraid of his thoughts. And those thoughts were becoming stronger every day. One day, something small happened. Adam was walking to work. As he entered the office, he saw 2 of his co-workers talking quietly. They looked at him, and then he stopped talking. That was enough. Adam's mind started moving. They were talking about me. I did something wrong. They don't like me. All day, he felt uncomfortable. He avoided them. He stayed quiet. He kept thinking. His mind created many stories, negative stories. By the end of the day, he was tired. Not from work, but from his thoughts. Finally, he decided to ask one of them. Hey, were you talking about me this morning? His coworker looked surprised. About you? No, we were talking about a project deadline. That was it. Simple, normal, nothing negative. Adam forced a small smile, but inside, he felt something strange. All that stress, all that fear, for nothing. For something that was never real. For the first time, he saw a small truth. His imagination had created a problem that never existed. But even after that moment, Adam did not fully change. His mind was still strong. And slowly, his imagination became worse. Now, his thoughts were faster, stronger, more detailed. If someone didn't smile at him, he thought, they don't respect me. If he made a small mistake, He imagined losing everything: his job, his money, his future. His mind created full stories, not just thoughts, but complete situations. At night, it became even harder. He lay in bed, but his mind did not rest. It moved again and again. What if I fail? What if I am not good enough? What if my life stays like this forever? These thoughts repeated every night. His sleep became weak. His energy became low. Even simple tasks felt heavy. He started avoiding challenges because in his mind, every challenge looked dangerous. Every risk looked like failure. Adam was no longer living freely. He was trapped, not by reality, but by his imagination. And the worst part was, he believed every thought. He trusted his fears more than the truth. And because of that, his world became smaller and smaller. One evening, something unexpected happened. Adam was sitting alone in a small park. He looked tired, lost in his thoughts. An old man sat down next to him. The man had calm eyes, a quiet face. He looked at Adam and said, "You are thinking too much." Adam was surprised. "How do you know?" The old man smiled slightly. "Because your face is not here. Your body is here. But your mind is somewhere else." Adam stayed silent. For a moment, he didn't know what to say. Then he slowly spoke. "My mind never stops. I keep thinking and thinking." The old man nodded. Then he said something simple, but powerful. "Your mind is lying to you." Adam looked at him, confused. "What do you mean?" The old man continued. "Not everything you think is true. Most of your fears are only stories in your head." Those words stayed in the air, and for the first time Adam didn't feel fear. He felt curiosity. Adam did not answer immediately. He looked down. The old man's words stayed in his mind. At first, Adam did not agree. He thought, "No, my fears are real. My problems are real." He wanted to defend his thoughts. But something inside him felt different. A small doubt appeared. What if he is right? That question stayed. That night, Adam sat quietly in his room. He started thinking about his past. All the times he felt fear. All the times he imagined the worst. And slowly, he began to notice something. Most of those fears never happened. Most of those problems were not real. They were only in his mind. For the first time, Adam did not believe every thought. He started questioning them. Is this true? Or is this just my imagination? This was new for him. Strange, but powerful. Something inside him was changing. Not completely, but slowly his thinking was starting to shift. The next day, Adam decided to try something different. A small experiment. Nothing big. Just something simple. At work, he noticed a familiar situation. One of his co-workers looked serious. Normally, Adam would think, "He is upset with me." But this time, he stopped himself. He remembered the old man's words. "Your mind is lying to you." So he asked himself, "Is this really true?" Instead of avoiding the situation, he walked up to his coworker. "Hey, is everything okay?" The coworker replied, "Yes, just a little tired today." That was it. No problem, no anger. Adam felt something new, relief. Later that day, he made a small mistake in his work. Again, his mind tried to react. "You will get in trouble. This is bad." But this time, he paused. He took a deep breath and asked, "What is real right now?" The answer was simple. It is just a small mistake. So he fixed it. And nothing bad happened that day. Adam learned something important. His thoughts were not always correct. Day by day, he continued these small experiments. He faced situations. He questioned his thoughts. And slowly, his fear started to become smaller. His confidence started to grow. Not fast, but steady. Step by step, he was taking control back from his imagination. A few days later, something changed deeply inside Adam. He was walking alone, thinking about everything he had learned, his past fears, his constant worries, all the stress he carried for no reason. And suddenly, he stopped. A clear thought came into his mind. All this time, I was fighting problems that were not even real. He stood there quietly. For the first time, he saw the truth clearly. His imagination had created a false world, a world full of fear, doubt, and pressure. But reality was different. Reality was simpler, calmer, lighter. He took a deep breath and felt something he had not felt in a long time: peace. Not because his life changed, but because his thinking changed. At that moment, Adam understood something important. Not everything you think is true. And when you stop believing every thought, you start to feel free. After that moment, Adam's life did not change overnight, but his mindset did, and that changed everything. He no longer believed every thought in his mind. When fear appeared, he did not accept it immediately. He paused. He asked, "Is this real, or is this my imagination?" This simple question gave him power. Slowly, he stopped overthinking. Not completely, but enough to feel lighter. He started taking action. Small actions. If he felt afraid, he faced the situation anyway. If he felt doubt, he moved forward step by step. He stopped creating problems in his head. He started living in reality. And reality was not as scary as he thought. It was simpler, calmer. Day by day, he felt more in control. His sleep improved. His mind became quiet. For the first time in a long time, Adam felt free. Not because life became perfect, but because he stopped fighting imaginary problems. As Adam changed, he began to notice something. Many people around him were just like his old self, always thinking, always worrying, always imagining the worst. So one day, he decided to share what he learned. He spoke to a friend who looked stressed. He said, "Not everything you think is true." His friend laughed at first. "That sounds simple," he said. Adam smiled. "Yes, but try to see it in your life." Some people listened. They became curious. They started questioning their thoughts. But some people did not understand. They continued worrying. They continued overthinking. Adam did not try to force them, because he understood something important. People change only when they are ready. But even helping a person felt meaningful to him, because he knew how powerful this simple truth could be. Now let me ask you something. Think about your own life. How many times have you felt afraid before anything actually happened? How many times have you imagined the worst situation, and later, nothing bad happened? Be honest. How many of your fears are real, and how many are just in your mind? Maybe you are like Adam. Maybe your thoughts are creating problems that don't exist. Maybe you are fighting imaginary battles every day. But here is something important. You can change this. You can take control of your mind. The next time you feel fear, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this real, or is this my imagination? That one question can change everything. You don't need to stop all your thoughts. You just need to stop believing every single one of them. So, tell me, what is one fear you will question today? Life is not always difficult, but the mind can make it feel that way. Sometimes the biggest stress does not come from reality. It comes from imagination, from thoughts that repeat again and again, from fears that feel real but are not. Adam learned this the hard way. He spent years worrying about things that never happened. He carried fear that had no reason to exist. But once he understood his mind, everything became different. Not perfect, but peaceful. Because when you understand your thoughts, you stop becoming their prisoner. You stop reacting to every fear. You start choosing what to believe. And that is where true freedom begins. Your mind can create fear, but it can also create peace. The choice is yours. So remember this one simple truth. Not everything you think is true. Your mind can create stories. It can create fear. But you don't have to believe every thought. Pause. Take a breath and ask yourself, is this real or is this my imagination? That one question can change your life, because the moment you stop believing false fears, you start living freely. So don't let your imagination control you. Understand it, question it, and take back control of your life, because peace is not outside. It starts inside your mind.